I'm Brent Fico with Keystone Precision Solutions. Today we took the Exyn Nexys Pro with the Trimble DA2 GNSS attachment out to map a retention pond complete with culverts to generate a topographic point cloud and then turn it into a digital elevation model or a digital terrain model. And this was just from a simple trip outside of the fence, inside, and then back outside over here. Point cloud was processed through ExynView as metric. We'll just start a metric project. We know that it was in EPSG 2824. That came from the collection with the Trimble DA2. So I'll set my EPSG ID 2824. Now I'm just going to grab the LAS file that was exported out of ExynView, drag and drop that in. So retention pond, some trees, power lines, roadway. Our data is georeferenced through the Trimble DA2, toggle on our background map, which will then show me a lot more information, how wide the roads were, where the striping is. And from there, we can see that this is sitting exactly where we collected it. After I've done my QA/QC to make sure it's landing where it's supposed to, the next thing I would do is grab my point cloud, come into my point clouds tab, and tell it to automatically classify our point cloud. The software run through and figure out what's our ground, bushes, things like that, high vegetation, trees, buildings, dividers, pole signs, and power lines. For an elevation model, I'm not really worried about all of these other items, so I'm going to actually just separate out my ground. The next thing I want to do is, if I know there's any sort of break lines that I don't want the surface to just glaze over, create a 3D polyline that's going to act as a break line to tell the surface, don't go across that. Next thing would be to create CAD points from scan points. Instead of it just sampling the point cloud, it's going to actually create a CAD node which has a northern, eastern, and elevation, or an X, Y, and Z for each position of the CAD point that it creates, and allows more freedom with tweaking the surface that's generated from this. Go to the Surfaces tab, and this is where we're going to create our triangulated model, and then from that triangulated model, we can actually create the contours. I'm going to make my selection first, click on Create a Surface. Once we have all of these options selected, we just tell it to apply. And then if I turn our points, our CAD points layer off, there's our surface. Having been created off the CAD points, something like this, if I wanted to fix that, right click, delete it, what we'll see is it's going to recompute the surface automatically. So now we have our surface. This is our terrain model, our elevation model at this point. With how quick this workflow is, you literally could send somebody out, walk it, scan it, here's the original, here's what it looks like as of now, pre-construction. A lot of huge benefits to it. You know, it's quick, easy, and it's reliable data that's just, you know, repeatable.